Hello everyone! Today I will demonstrate the basics of sketching a human's side profile. Hopefully, this will create a foundation for you to build your drawing skills on. I will try to create a face that has characteristics which are common amongst all kinds of people. With this base knowledge, you will be able to draw all kinds of lovely faces. This tutorial is specifically on faces because I find that they are the one thing that many people want to draw, so it's a great starting point. Drawing is a great way to break into the art scene, whether you're looking for a pastime, a new hobby, or a potential career path. It exercises creativity, strategic thinking, focus, and happens to be a wonderful de-stressor. You will need a pencil, paper, an eraser, and patience. Technique, spatial awareness, and style will come with practice. Michelangelo wasn't able to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling the first time he picked up a paintbrush. He had to be patient with his own learning process too. He even once said, "I am still learning." Let's begin. Adjust your paper as needed for your comfort. Then, draw a circle with a horizontal line through the middle. You can use a ruler if you want, but it's not a requirement. Now you can draw the eyebrow and the eye. The midline is the brow line. A common misconception is that the midline is the eye line, but this is false. Drawing your eyes at the midline will cause the lower part of the face to be too long. Eyebrows and eyes come in many shapes and sizes, so feel free to experiment here. My drawing is just a guideline. However, you generally want to keep the eye set back from the front of the brow. The iris and the front of the brow do not need to be parallel. You can also think of the eye as an arrowhead. This is what they look like from the side. This step is fairly simple. Starting from the middle of the eye, draw a vertical line straight down the front of the face. Then you can shape the jawbone. You can use any form, a rounded jaw, a square jaw, soft, or a jaw that angles sharply upward, and so on. The forehead can be just as diverse as the jaw. You can make it tall, short, rounded, or flat. I don't recommend drawing it upward in a straight vertical line though. Foreheads are often angled backward. Noses can completely change a face. I went with a simple quote-unquote generic nose here. I have found that this straight bridge is shared by all kinds of faces. Of course, it's not the only kind of nose that exists, so you can be really creative here. It's time for the lower part of the face. Beginning with the mouth, start by drawing a small inward swoop below the nose. Then draw a small outward swoop. And again, another outward swoop. In, out, out. Between these outward curves, draw a small horizontal line. It doesn't need to be perfectly straight. At the end of this line, mark a small dot. This is the corner of the mouth. While you're at it, you can finish up the jaw by adding more curves to it. There are two things you need to know about the ear. 1. The top part of the ear is parallel to the top of the eye. 2. The bottom part of the ear is parallel to the bottom of the nose. You can draw an oval or block shape to give you an idea of how big you want the ear to be. Now, drawing the inside of an ear is tricky. I won't go too far into it because ear anatomy is an entirely different subject. We can start by simply drawing a thin line underneath the top part of the ear, following its curve. And if If I'm being honest, you can draw a couple of squiggly lines on the inside of the ear and it will look perfectly fine. Like most things in nature, skulls are not perfectly round. Begin at the forehead and draw an imperfect circle, like so. When you are parallel with the middle of the ear, draw inward at a sharper angle. This abrupt change in shape is the base of the skull. The back of the neck is a slightly diagonal line, and the front of the neck has a curve where the throat is. You can erase some of the jawline to make the features blend with each other. Choose how high or how low you want your hairline to be and shape it any way you please. Leave some space between the sideburns and the ear. I won't go into how to draw hair this time because hair theory would need another video to itself. But as you can see, there are many ways to draw it. Now you know the basics of drawing a side profile. You can experiment with all sorts of facial features and drawing techniques until you find your own unique art style. Have fun with it and don't get discouraged. There is no standard of perfection in art. If there was, all art would look the same. The most important thing here is that you're learning and creating.